Hi, welcome to my channel Life.Greenery, and today's topic I would like to touch on succulents that can grow in indirect light conditions. A lot of us would love to grow succulents at our home, however we do not have the optimal lighting conditions for them. As we all know, succulents requires a lot of light in order to thrive. And you can find a lot of information about low light succulents such as Houthis, echeverias, and some others. However, in today's video, I'm not going to talk about Houthis, echeverias, because you can find a lot of information about them online. And in today's topic, I will just solely focus on echeverias type. Echeverias type that can grow in a condition without direct sunlight. However, it doesn't mean that these succulents do not require light in order to grow and survive or to thrive. It's just that they can tolerate the living conditions without direct light. And how do we test that our succulents are receiving enough light for them is you have to observe the rosette shape and all that, whether they etiolate or not. Well, so how do we measure the lux meter and or foot candle reading about your succulents? Actually, you can just go to mobile phone apps and you just download lux meter or lighting meter. It may not be so accurate to those real light meter, however it gives you a reference. In order for me to convey the information easier for you about light intensity requirements for the plant, I've actually grouped them into three main groups with the rating scale 1 to 10. This is group A. Those 7 species succulents that I covered in the first part of the video fall into this category. They don't require too much direct sunlight for them to grow. They can grow quite okay. The next group would be the high light intensity requirement succulents, which I will give the reading from 8 to 10, and they need about 6,000 foot candles to 10,000 foot candle in order for them to thrive. They do quite well in full sun. 4 hours of direct sunlight is not enough for them. They need about at least 6 hours or 8 hours of direct sunlight in order for them to maintain that nice rosette shape or the conditions to be good. Now left the last group, which is group B. Now this group is where most of the succulents fall into. That means they require at least 4 hours of direct sunlight minimum in order for them to grow well. So with the information about group A, group B and group C of the light intensity, and you can know your succulents better according to this group, and you know where to put them because each species requires slightly different light intensity for them to grow well. I'm sharing this information based on my experience on these types of succulents that are grown at my house, so it does not apply to all of you. You can just take it as guidance or reference for your succulents. And for you to refer, those succulents that can grow without direct sunlight requires about 1,200 to 1,500 foot candle light conditions for them. Even though they don't require direct sunlight, they still need about 1,200 or 1,500 foot candle measurement in order to grow well. If your house environment or your area that you want to put your succulents in fulfill the requirements such as minimum 1,200 or 1,500 foot candle, and second, you have good air ventilation, third, your area is cool and bright, of course. So the first plant that I want to talk about that can be grown in indirect sunlight is Echeveria Santa Luis. Next, we have the Echeveria agavoides. For your information, agavoides do not thrive well in those hot and direct sun area. As for me, or in my environment, they don't thrive well. However, when I put them in the area where it doesn't receive direct sun, that means they receive indirect sun the whole day, that they kind of do well. Next, we have the Echeveria Afterglow. A lot of us love Echeveria Afterglow because of its beauty, and we want to try them in our home. It can be grown in indirect sun conditions. And next we have another good siblings of Echeveria Afterglow, which is Echeveria Hera. They look similar because Hera is a hybrid from Afterglow. So for Hera, it also can be grown in indirect sunlight area. Now next we have the Echeveria purpurorum. Maybe you found that your purpurorums tends to be soft if you expose them into direct sunlight. Now I'll tell you, yes, they don't like the heat. Next we have a easy care Echeveria, which is Echeveria Purple Delight. I'm not sure you found out something, that most purple hue succulents do quite well in indirect sun area if you cannot provide them with direct sunlight. Of course, most of the succulents love direct sunlight, including all these 7 species that I mentioned in this video. And the last succulents that I want to cover is Cotyledon tomentosa. I think this type of succulents do not require me to explain further. A lot of you will know Cotyledon does well in brightly lit area. It might not apply to your country or your area, which is cool. Alright, those are the 7 species of the succulents that I brought out today for you to try if you would like to grow succulents at your home, but you can't provide them with the optimum lighting conditions. So these 7 species, they just need indirect light in order for them to grow well. So try it, and just make sure that you give them good air ventilation. So all in all, we have covered 7 species that can be grown in an indirect sun area, which requires about 1200 to 1500 foot candle to grow. So if you have more species that you found that can be grown in the condition of group A, leave the comment below and we'll try that out. Until then, and see you in the next video. Bye.